Alright, it is 9:57 a.m. and I want to make an update. I haven't traded anything. There were a few opportunities, a few setups that in theory I could have traded, but I didn't trade them, and I want to go over right now what could be a setup and what isn't a setup. RGBP was a morning panic bounce play. I kind of missed this one. I didn't want to really trade it because it was just up one day, and even though it was up massively that one day, I like trading morning panic bounce plays on stocks that are at least up 3 days in a row. Three nice big green candles, and this isn't really the case, but it did move a lot the one day that it did uptrend. And I saw the turnaround because there was a person with 5 million shares that showed up at the bid, and that did cause it to turn around. I just really wasn't mentally there for this, just because of that reason. And I guess I was just kind of slow to it, to be honest, which is fine. If I'm gonna, I guess, take a small mental break, I guess that's okay. I could have bought PUGE at 28, but this one was kind of sketchy because the other day it sold off, right? If you look at the other day, at the very end it sold off. So this was like a morning panic bounce play between 2 days, but that wasn't really nice. I would have liked it better if the thing downtrended today and then, I would buy the turnaround and that offered a nice move. But in theory, I could have bought 28. It actually came back to 28 one more time before it continued the uptrend, which I don't mind missing too much. But in theory, that could have been a setup that I could have taken with PUGE. There's nothing else that I really want to trade with it. If it breaks the day high, it's not that nice because it's going to have resistance from the past few days, so it's not too nice. CYBL could be a breakout over this range. I mean, it's technically doing it already over this 19 level, but there's a wick right here at 20, and if it builds up and maybe breaks this level and it gets to 20, I might be interested in that, but there is a lot of sellers on the ask. AMC is downtrending, it's trying to turn around. I'm not really interested in trading something like this, but if it starts to look very clean or very promising, I might consider it at another point. And ABML downtrended. This could be something where it just turns around at some point, maybe tries to get to VWAP, but I'm not too interested in it. I don't like the price action. And yeah, that's really about it. I mean, I guess I'll watch RGBP for a higher low or a lower low, but it has to look super clean. Again, it was only up one day in a row, so I'm not too interested in it. So really just a potential setup with RGBP, the morning panic bounce play with not the best daily chart. And then the thing with PUGE, the I guess high day breakout right here. Those two were the only setups and they're not the best, but in theory I could have probably have traded them. I'll make an update later, but I don't see anything right now. It is 10:21 and I want to make an update for the stocks as well as the setups. As for ABML, it did do the uptrend right, but it wasn't really nice. It wasn't the best case scenario. It went from the 128s to the 131s, which isn't really that cool. This could be a perhaps a double bottom and it can uptrend later, but I just don't like it. It's not really that good of a setup. AMC keeps downtrending. CYBL. Okay, this one, as you can see, this I believe had, yeah, it says 6 million shares. A whole lot of shares went through. I did try to buy the breakout. It was extremely quick. It almost felt like somebody just bought 6 million shares with a market order. The way it just shot up like crazy. And I did try at that 10:01 level, but I did not get filled. I probably should have had a higher limit, but at the same time, I mean, it only got to 21, and maybe worst case, I would have been in at 203, which would have been kind of high. And then it immediately started to downtrend and sell off. So I might not have made anything if I didn't get filled right and right then and there at 20. So that was the case with that. It did uptrend and then it kind of came back. And I was interested in this, thinking that maybe, this was a level 20. It breaks past it, it comes back, and then it holds it and it uptrends. And sure, it's doing it now a little bit, but there have been consistently at every single point above the 20 level just a bunch of sellers now. I don't know if they're short sellers or if they're people who bought it at 6 and they're crying, and they're like, I want to get out, it's uptrending, I don't want to see it go back, to the 1 cent or the sub penny level again. But that's the case with this one. It just didn't really work out. PUGE is not really doing anything, and there is also a lot of sellers at every point, not as bad as CYBL. As for RGBP, it did downtrend near the level here, but I can't explain it. The way it did it here was very gross. You can see it had the uptrend right here, and then it came all the way back. It was not good the way it traded it, so I never traded it. I am looking at MNTS. Maybe it can do something where it breaks this level at the 462 right here, which would also, break the day high, maybe make a run towards that level. But this stock is giving me, bad vibes. Like the kind of stock that can have a halt and drop like 20% like nothing with a big red candle is just giving me bad vibes of the type of stock that can do that. I am looking at this, but there's nothing that I really want to trade right now. It is 12:35 p.m. and I have some work to do. I'm gonna be another place. I'm gonna have my laptop on me. I don't even know if I can trade on my laptop because I don't have Fidelity installed, but maybe it works. But if it does work, maybe I'll be considering CYBL. I like how it's been building back, and it can have like a more realistic breakout over the ideal 21 level and maybe continue the uptrend. Or I guess off of the wick here, which is 204. There's gonna be some resistance, but if this thing can build up and there isn't 50 million sellers at the ask, maybe this thing can actually do something. As for RGBP, it didn't break past VWAP. It's not really that nice of a setup. Same with PUGE. RGBP was a little better. And as for this one, I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. This one did break the day high, but I hated how it did it. It's just like the other one. Which one was it? It was just like CYBL that broke the day high with just a big volume purchase. It's not nice looking. It's very similar in that it just, bought it up, broke the level, and kind of sold off. I'll be watching this. If this is the kind of stock that can break the day high and then continue the run even longer, that would be super great. It would be nice to be a part of one of those type of setups, but there's a chance it might not work out. And AMC did eventually turn around here, but nothing too ideal. ABML is trying to turn around. I did draw this trend line before it broke it. It looks like it did break it. Maybe I could have considered it, but it's not really working that well. That's about it. If I'm not able to get Fidelity working or the setups don't really play out, this will be the last recap before the market close. Okay, it is 4:52 p.m. and I'm here to call it off. Overall, I am up on the day 30 cents, and I did have a trade with CYBL, and it was later in the day, and this was on my laptop in the garage while I was working on other things. I wasn't too focused on the computer to trade a proper 10,000 share position, which will be a $10 risk level with CYBL. But if you can remember, this is the breakout that it had over the high a day, and I didn't like how it did it because it just did it with a whole bunch of volume and it sold off, and then it tried again and it just started the downtrend. But it eventually started to gradually work its way through, I guess wipe out all the sellers that were sitting at the ask, and then it was starting to play off of that 21 level that I had in mind previously as well. I believe it was 21, like, because it had that wick right there. And as it was continuing to work towards the top, it was looking very nice, and I did get in at 2:24 p.m., which was right here. I was in right here at 2:12, as you can see right there. And I was in the setup because it looked like it was working its way up. And again, I'm happy that I traded my just a small 1,000 share position. If I was on my main computer, I probably would have traded a 10,000 share position instead. But I didn't want to be in a full size position and not be completely focused on the setup, and maybe let it downtrend or something without me catching it in time, or maybe I missed seeing a big seller show up at the ask, and it's a red flag, and I'm not able to trade the best that I can. So I'm happy with the size that I traded, but I don't feel good with my sell. Now I did sell at a top at 236. I saw the topping price action, which was around right here. Seeing that it was going to really struggle around the 216 and the 217 level, because there were a lot of people at the ask at 217, and I sold at 215 right around here at this 236 time period. It did get to 217, but it just felt like it was a top, and also with a trend line in place, it can also show that it was definitely going to break it, and it did downtrend after the trend line right here broke. But what sucks is that it continued the uptrend, and it didn't have to work out, but I feel like given how small the position was and everything, I feel like I could have tried maybe selling half of my position. So instead of 1,000 shares, maybe 500 shares into what was this top. So that if it fails and it downtrends and it gets to VWAP, which is where I was going to consider cutting the trade, sure, I would have maybe have lost money or break even. But at least I would have given myself a chance for it to uptrend some more and then sell the other half at a nicer point. It did do a higher low here, and I want to be a part of that where, stock is uptrending, I'm long, and then it puts up a top and maybe I sell half, it downtrends, and ideally it does this. It puts up a higher low from this level, a level either where I'm buying or maybe a little previously like it was here. And then it continues to make a move towards the upside. And it closed super strongly. And when I bought this thing, I did have the thing in mind that maybe I can buy the, stock and hold on to it overnight and try to get some more experience with that, because the setup was working out and it was definitely uptrending. So I feel pretty bad that I had my crappy sell, even if it was such a small position. If I would have sold at the very tippy top, all of my shares, I wouldn't have made that much anyway, but I would have been happier. So I want to work towards that, learn to be more patient on setups like this. I don't mind being quick in and out with morning panic bounce plays, but I need to differentiate that between setups that are quick, like those morning panic bounce plays, and stuff that might take more time to develop like this. So that's the case with that. I want to learn to hold on to setups longer. Definitely could have sold half right here. And again, even if it were to have fallen towards VWAP and I cut it, it would have been fine. So yeah, that's about it. As for the other ones, RGBP, I haven't really looked at these. Yeah, it doesn't look nice. Nothing with PUGE. This one was just weird. It just, gave me bad vibes, and it didn't really do a nice breakouts. And AMC did turn around, but nothing really ideal. ABML did turn around. It looks like it did take some time. That's what I'm talking about. A type of setup that I can hold on for a longer period of time and participate into a bigger picture move. That's all I have for today. I hope I can do better tomorrow. And there's a chance I might not be able to trade tomorrow, but God willing, the next trading day, I hope I can do a lot better on my selling.